Good evening, one and all. We welcome you. Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Well-being. Before we start our session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's sessions. Today marks the winter solstice. That is, you will see gradually shorter nights and longer days. Till now, we have been seeing for past 6 months and around, we were seeing longer nights and shorter days. But now, as the summer is approaching, we will have shorter nights and longer days. So from today till in between December 21st and 23rd, this winter solstice starts. At the same time, we have another solstice, that is summer. And it is also in West, it is known as December solstice. And apart from that, we have Short Girl Appreciation Day today. Those who are short. And today is also International The Lake Inspired Remembrance Day. And look on the right side there. And National Cross Puzzle Day. And also National Flashlight Day. And National Homeless Persons Remembrance Day. And World Snowbird Day. And Yule Day, and many other days. But we will just look at a few due to time constraints. So we will take up the solstice in the last, because it will consume much of the time. So we will complete other commemorations in short, and we will move on to the most significant day, that is scientifically, religiously, spiritually very much important for everyone. So we will first complete the short, the other commemorations which are very short. So then we'll finally move to the solstice concept, commemoration. So today is National Short Girl Appreciation Day in US. So especially there is stigma or a kind of low self-esteem that is observed with the short girls and women, that they are not, up to the mark, or they are not that tall. So this is a day where you can proudly say it is your day and to celebrate small girls and ladies in your life. If you are a short girl yourself, you know the genetic lottery you won, because not even that is also, you should be a fortunate also to be short or long for that matter. Anything, it is genetically endowed and bestowed. So they always make cute shoes in smaller sizes. Your feet are never going to hang off the bed, and you can literally fit anywhere on any size of bed. So these short people have several advantages, and there are even healthcare benefits also associated with being a little, you know, short, or in other terms, vertically challenged, or different ways of, you know, addressing. But really, we should say these short girls and women are very fortunate as such. But there are few challenges. In the cups or something are on the tallest shelf or the tallest cabinet. It's not always fun to be short. We need to look out for some assistive, some chairs or tables or ladders to reach upon. But how great is that you always at the top on human pyramid. And when you have ever hit your head on the door frame. So this day, that is National Short Girl Appreciation Day, was started to celebrate smaller ladies in our lives, and that may help them grab out of reach item. However, being a short girl has different meanings throughout the years and places. So it is perceived in a different way in different religions, different places, different contexts. So today women are taller on average than our ancestors even 100 years ago. So still women in Indonesia, Bolivia, and the Philippines are on the shorter end of the global coverage average, uh, hovering around just 5 feet. So this proves that short totally depends on where you are. It not only just depends on you, but also the geographical, demographical area, apart from other factors like genetics. So short women make a huge impact. Emilia Clarke, mother of dragon, stand 5'2", as does makeup and reality TV mogul Kim Kardashian. And Lady Gaga checks in at 5'1", and a superstar Olympic gymnastic Simone Biles is only at 4'8". So these ladies proved that whether it's on stage, on the Olympic podium, or anywhere else, being short does not stunt their success. So no matter whether you are short, tall, thin, fat, doesn't matter. As long as you have confidence and you keep going on practicing, aiming at what you want, this shouldn't be a constraint as such. So you should put your 100% of your mind, body, soul into it, and success is yours. So these are all a kind of excuse. Maybe at times it may be a challenge, but it's never a disability. We always have to remember there is a difference between you know, disabilities and handicap and challenges. So this is a kind of challenge for the short people, but never a disability or never a handicap situation, right? Condition. So the current world record holder for shortest woman alive is Jyoti Amgi of India, who is 18 years old, is just 2 feet tall. See this wonderful lady who is the shortest lady on the planet. The two from our country. We are proud. Jyoti Amge of India, who is now 18 years old. She is just 2 feet tall. Wonderful lady. And a study also was conducted on a dating site in 2005, found that shortened women receive more messages from men rather than their taller counterparts. So not short on appeal. They have a great appeal on dating sites. And in 1992, standing at 4'6", Tatiana Gutsu of Romania became the smallest Olympic gold medal in gymnastics in 1992. So being short can save your hips. And in between 800 to 1000 CE, researchers have determined that the average female height during Middle Ages was not more than 5'2" in the Middle Ages, short stature. So it's the average age. No need to worry much about. So since 5'4" is the national average height for women, anything beneath should be considered short. That's it. Tall is considered 5'8" and above. So anything under might be considered short by some. But that's an average. Up to 5'5", it's an average height. So Redbubble is always great for finding stickers, teams, pins, and prints that show off your love of your height. You can find a lot of, or you can make your own. Of course, there we can see a lot of challenges with the hashtag short girl problems or short girl challenges. So you can also add to that, not in negative connotation. You can post something, you can write something quoting what is the challenge and how you are able to overcome it. Like you can send your articles, maybe your experiences, and write how it was a challenge being a short girl or a woman and how could you overcome it. This is a great opportunity for others to get inspired and you also to get motivation, external motivation, as well as intrinsic motivation. That is, you can also motivate yourself, by having so many challenges overcome by yourself. And Dolly Parton, Anna Kendrick, and Shakira don't even hit 5'3". We don't mind watching Pitch Perfect and listening to Jolene to remind ourselves that big artistic achievement doesn't take a big frame. So many short girls and women had made a great achievement in their lives. So if you don't have any trouble reaching the upper cabinets, lend a hand to the lady in your life who does. Also appreciated is walking more slowly unless you are trying to make her run with his little legs. So help out a short girl around, or if you have one in your family or in neighborhood or in a community. And one study found that those who are under 5'2" are less likely to break a hip than over 5'8". So small is strong. And one study found that those under 5 have a significantly decreased chance of dealing with back pain. So it's not a pain to be short. So see how many advantages are there being short. And though doctors can't quite pinpoint why those who are under 5'3" have a 50% less chance of developing coronary heart disease than those who are over 5'8". So heart wise also, you are 100% less chance of developing any heart disease. And short people are less likely to get heat stroke or just overheated in general than taller people. So you can always stay cool. And many studies have shown that those who are on the short side are more likely to live longer lives than their tall counterparts. So long live short girls. So many advantages and interesting facts being short. And also, short girls are beautiful. Think of all the stunning and powerful celebrities who don't even hit 5'3" mark. And we are thinking of Shakira, Anna Kendrick, Dolly Parton, and many more. So you are in a good company. And it's empowering. If you aren't the sixth model or volleyball player, who cares? You never hit your head on the door frames. Every blanket is long enough for you. And every bed is also long enough for you. And you're always the top of human pyramid tree. We love a day to remind us that there's something to be appreciated about the diversity of height and body sizes. And there are also so many perks to being petite. You always look younger and always have a long or enough leg room. You can wear any heels that you want. You'd go on. Being a short woman is absolutely not getting short end of the stick. Remember. So, as today we are commemorating Short Girl Appreciation Day, tomorrow we have commemoration of National Short Person. So today, though it is more gender specific because we are commemorating girls and women as such, but tomorrow it is for both any gender for that matter. It is also National Short Person Day tomorrow. So we'll also look into much detail tomorrow. And today is also International Dalek Remembrance Day, and commemorates the exploits of the Daleks who were impeccable villains in the popular time travel show. If you have watched Doctor Who, the Daleks made their appearance in the show in 1963, becoming one of the most iconic and formidable foes faced by the time traveling Doctor. The show became a fan favorite in 1988 when Remembrance of the Daleks was aired as a 4-episode series. The Daleks, after the popular robots was named, the serial title, it was turned out to be most famous villain of the long-running show. Actually, Daleks were inspired by the Nazis as they were emotionless robots determined to exterminate all the creatures across the universe, shaped like salt and pepper shakers. The Daleks were immensely powerful and nearly indestructible. And today we have look on the bright side day. We can't always be optimistic, but look on the bright side. We can always try our best to be. It's quite normal to feel a little down on this day or any day, since it falls around the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, which means things tend to get little cold and cloudy outside. But fret not, because every cloud has a silver lining. While it may all sound very cliche, being optimistic is scientifically good for our bodies and minds. Just like a pessimist might see the glass as half empty, look on the bright side is all about seeing the glass as half full, or altogether a different perspective that you can fill more into the glass. So there are greater opportunities. While it may be the shortest day of the year, today it is also winter solstice. As already mentioned, it is the shortest day of the year. People all over the world celebrate the winter solstice. So this can be something happy to take away from the event. Various cultures and religions have made it special occasion for ages. The shortest day and the longest night of the year have inspired mystical celebrations, both old and new, in anticipation of the sun's return. That's something beautiful and optimistic to take away from this time. And December is generally a festive month throughout the world, because the largest population, when we take, as per the religion, Christians are the, uh, you know, highest in the population across the world. So they are the majority. So it brings out a huge celebration, festive month for Christmas, as well as the impending New Year. But the winter solstice is another reason to celebrate in December. So, irrespective of any religion, because that is a natural concept or a phenomenon. So, winter solstice is another reason to celebrate in December, which is on the same day as look on the bright side. So, it's nothing new. Humans may have observed the winter solstice since ages, since as early as humans evolved on this planet. So it has nothing to do with any religion as such. So it's as old as, Sanatana Dharma, or as old as the human beings existed, even before, in fact. So ancient Romans had several celebrations also around the time of the winter solstice. And the Saturnalia, a holiday in the honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture, was a week-long celebration. The days leading up to winter solstice, the ancient Norsemen of Scandinavia celebrated Yule from winter solstice through January, always hopefully looking for the return of sun. The Inca Empire paid homage to the sun god Inti at a winter solstice celebration called Inti Raymi. So we see is that certain countries, they have longer winters, shorter summers, and some countries don't even see sun for months together, or some countries, they have very less summers. So based on these factors and many other factors, so this is the period of return of sun. We in Sanatan Dharma and even in Hinduism also, we have this concept of Uttarayana Dakshina, where the sun is slightly changes its rotation. That we will also discuss in a so-called scientific manner also at the last. So in China, Donzi is also celebrated with family gatherings, a big meal and a delicious rice flour balls called Tangyang. It marks the end of the harvest and has its roots in the concept of yin and yang. after the solstice, the darkness of winter will begin to be balanced with the light of the sun. So from today being the shortest day and being the longest night, and from today, the days are going to be longer and nights are going to be short. And it also marks the end of the harvest and has its roots in the concept of yin yang after the solstice. The darkness of winter will begin to be balanced with the light of sun. At Stonehenge, modern day revealers witness the magical occurrence of the sun rising through the stones. And in Pakistan, the Kalsha people celebrate the winter solstice or Koimas with a colorful swill of traditional dance, food, and prayer dance. So that's why we have this festival in January, the famous and the biggest festival, farmers festival, kite festival, food festival, cattle festival. So many festivals are together, and this famous Sankranti or Pongal, we have different names, uh, and it is widely celebrated because the huge harvest that comes, and we also call it as a harvest festival or harvest season, where the agriculture produce comes to home, comes to markets, and we have new produce available. So that marks the festival. And it is also kites festival and Rangoli festival, whatnot. It's a really, it's a festival worth celebrating, first festival worth participating, festival worth, enjoy. So an optimist, in other words, a person who tends to be hopeful and confident about future of success or something, according to Collins English Dictionary. If you look at on the bright side, you try to be cheerful about a bad situation by thinking of some advantages that could result from it, or thinking that it is not as bad as it could have happened. And be optimistic, make a mood board. We can either look at the things negatively or positively. It's entirely our choice. December is a festive month with the solstice and, and lot of significance, even in Hinduism also. It's Shunya Mas or Magh Mas and also Dhanur Mas, Pushya Mas. A lot of significance is also given in the oldest religion and other belief systems, even for Christians also. This is a very important month as they are celebrating Christmas, the major, or in fact, we have to say the only festival or the only major festival they have in the entire year. So for them also, it's very much significant. So do you have any resolutions? And just short, we have also, the famous Atal Bihari Vajpayee's birthday, and we have a Good Governance Day also on December 25th. And the very next day, we are also celebrating Boxers Day, that is also very significant. And this entire last week is also, year-ending calendar, English calendar year-ending. Of course, our calendars are different, which are very, scientific, which bounds to the natural principles or universal principles of weather, climate, seasonal, that comes as Ugadi, in March, April. Those are in line with nature and universal principles. But these English calendar, we have seen how this came into existence, which has no significant value or contribution, just for the sake of you know fixing up the Easter. This calendar was brought because there was a confusion always, like how to fix the dates, because dates always keep changing. Because you know generally when we follow the scientific or astronomical, or what we say, the celestial bodies movement based on the rotation of sun, earth, and uh, moon and other planets, where these calendars are fixed, there is always a variation because of this leap year. Every 4 years we have a leap year, and we get there is a variation in the time also. So where some years we have 365 days, and some 365 and a half days, and 366 days. So there is always a variation. We cannot have a calendar like English calendar where it is fixed. That is a foolish calendar which exists in this on the planet. When nature itself is not same, how you can fix a calendar? But that's for the convenience of something, because we cannot keep track. Already we are so complex, in making things complex and overthinking, and understanding such a complex phenomenon is always beyond our imagination or beyond our understanding. We always see, we cannot even understand the simple things in our life or happening that is in and around. We make so much of fuzz, complexity about it, right? And understanding abstract things and complex things are bit, at a higher side, though we call ourselves as a higher intellectuals, but often we lack that kind of maturity or higher consciousness or higher understanding. So that's why, to make it simplified, we have this something we have to fix it now, so that we can follow, everyone can follow. That's why this English calendar has come into being, so that it's just a matter of convenience. But there is nothing science about it, there is nothing belief about it. It's just for the sake of convenience. That is also not accurate, because again, that doesn't predict accurate date or time of the natural or universal phenomena. Again, we have seen already, there is a day which commemorates the foolish, stupidous, and blunder that these people have committed in evolving this English calendar, and everyone adopting, almost entire planet is has adopted and going through. That again gives one of the incidents that we humans are very best or very good at doing foolish things, rather than uh, you know adopting such natural ways or natural concepts as it is, because they are too complex to understand. So anyway, we still have this Hindu calendar where it gives accurately predicts. That's why we go by Tithi, Nakshatra, Vara, all, because that with that we can have we have almanac also, national yearly almanac, and we have 100 years, even 1,000 years, where we have predicted long back. Even calendar has come, we have predicted when the solar eclipse, lunar eclipse occurs, and when is the next festival. We don't have that kind of confusion, like even a simple date like Easter cannot be fixed, and they have a lot of confusion. And because of that, they had to change the entire calendar itself, and a lot of fuzz. And it's okay, things not everyone can understand the complex concepts. It is a classical example that human beings are still evolving. And but our Vedic culture or Vedas have long back given all kind of knowledge that we predicted long back, and still they try to make up, because as already I was mentioning many times, we ourselves don't want credit to our ancestors. Today, people have gone to such extent they are denying that they have evolved from apes, monkeys, or chimpanzees. So history is something that we need to accept. We cannot distort and say, no, I have evolved from something else. We all have evolved from apes, chimpanzees, monkeys, and you cannot do anything about it. So these are certain things, certain facts we, we cannot deny it. But only thing is we have to accept. So like that Sanatana Dharma, where there was casteless society or religious society, religionless society, where there was no caste or there is no religion, where there is no Varna system. So and yeah. So where our Vedas has provided, Vedic knowledge has provided everything. And we do not want to credit our own ancestors, our own sages, our own Vedic scriptures, and we want to create our own is false knowledge, or where that is a different concept altogether, a different debate. Everyone is striving or struggling for the identity, and this all because of identity crisis that is happening. Anyway, that's all altogether a different concept. But when we are talking about you know being optimistic or positive, so always that helps out. And this is also a self-care day to take care of yourself, and what you do to help yourself feel good is a personal choice. And if you need a mood boost, try to have a relaxing day consisting of your favorite self-care rituals to get throughout the day. Solid sleep increases good moods. So studies have found that adults who get even 7 to 8 hours of shut-eye per night scored higher on the test for optimism and self-esteem than those who snoozed for fewer than 6 hours or more than 9. So optimism is good for immunity. Scientific studies have found a link between increased immunity and positive expectations or mindsets. And exercise help boost our moods. Research shows that athletic people are much more optimistic than their sedentary counterparts. Half an hour of brisk walking or jogging several times a week promotes positive moods. And looking on the sunny side is good for your heart. Optimistic people are twice as likely to have strong cardiovascular health. And psychologists also agree that remembering what we are grateful for will foster cheerful emotions, and writing in a gratitude journal is a great way to get into that habit. So counting your own blessings. So it's all having a positive attitude. Like all things in life, having a positive attitude greatly increases our health and overall happiness. Get together with your friends or family and help uplift them and yourself by looking on the bright side. If ancient people from tens of thousands of years ago can celebrate the shortest day of the year and winter solstice with joy and anticipation, so can we. So people from various cultures around the world continue to do so today, and we can take something away from their messages. Many who observe their winter solstice generally celebrate the rebirth of the sun god, also called by many names, Aditya, Surya Narayana, and many more names, and believe it is a powerful time for regeneration, renewal, and self reflection. And it's literally good for us. A sunny disposition isn't just good for our mental health, it's good for our bodies too, and can add years to our lives. Positive emotions also change how our immune system works. Many recent research findings also, uh, you know, supported that having a positive emotions or positive outset or positive lifestyle can boost our immune systems. And we don't know exactly how, but we know that if we are calm and positive, it affects the number of our immune cells and our inflammation levels also drop. So with this, we shall conclude this commemoration. And today is also National Crossword Puzzle Today. So in US, and when the puzzle was diamond shaped, contained in no internal block squares. However, it was so popular with readers that within a decade, crossword puzzles were featured in almost all American newspapers. And we all know a crossword lover. Some even get the newspaper for the sole purpose of doing the crossword. So it is a day we all know, we know how, find out you like and start filling in those squares. So December 21st, 1913, the world first crossword puzzle appeared in the New York World December 21st issue and was created by Arthur Winnie in the West. Keeping up the times, the first Times crossword puzzle was published on February 1st, 1930. And Bill Weng became the second editor of the New York Times crossword puzzle. And he was the successor to the first one on January 6, 1969. And the Wordplay, a documentary film featuring a popular crossword constructors and solvers like Bill Shorts, Dibberts. So a worth watching documentary film that was released in 2006. So sometimes two heads are better than one. That's why we say thinking together. And again, too many can spoil. So keep it to minimal. And if you are new at doing crossword puzzles, you probably going to struggle a little bit. So make a bit more fun and do the puzzle with a friend. We can even team up with a significant other for more crossword puzzles, but it's a great way to find out what weird facts you know. And try online crossword also. Thanks goodness for the internet. Now there are so many sites and apps that offer free crosswords. These are basically an endless supply at your fingertips, so you are never to get bored. Pick from anyone's that suit your ability and interest level and try to challenge yourself one that's a little bit more tricky. So can you complete it? Only way is to find out. And if you are a mycological expert, do you know everything there is to know about geology? Or find a subject that you are an expert in and try completing a crossword about that. You will be able to figure out tons of clues based on your prior knowledge, and you might even complete the entire crossword. You'll feel great and start expanding your knowledge in a field that interests you. So it is a very good opportunity for your brain also to improve your memory power and retention power, retaining power, many more. And that's great for your brain. As studies have shown that doing crossword puzzles prevents dementia, improves verbal skills, help practice problem solving skills, helps the brain identify patterns and improves your ability to do trivia. And that's a lot of wins and a lot of reasons to become a master crossword puzzle solver. Up your crossword puzzle game and win a trivia the next time you play with your friends. So we do a lot of waiting in our lives. So whether we are waiting for the bus or our train or our flight or our daily commute, there's a lot of potential to get bored. However, there's a way to engage your mind while making time fly by. So do you see where we are heading? So crossword puzzles are portable and cost nothing. They are perfect for taking everywhere with you. So what could be better? Right. They are fun. They expand your knowledge. Crossword puzzles helps to learn about new subjects, new words. It's hard not to get stuck on a question unless you are a crossword puzzle fanatic. And we all have been guilty of looking online to find the answer. However, even though that's technically cheating, when search for an answers, you learn new facts and expand your mind. So crossword puzzles are meant to stump you. So you always learn something new. Who cares if something you didn't know want to know in the very first place? So try crossword puzzles today on this occasion. And today is also National Flashlight Day in US. Along with the longest nights, the winter solstice brings with its National Flashlight Day. In some regions of northern hemisphere, the darkness arrives prior to solstice. As the primitive as it sounds, a flashlight is extremely handy on this day, or especially in the night. All you need is good working flashlight with stable battery. So let's shine a light on this history of wonderful flashlight granted with the advent of built-in flashlight on smartphones. The original tool isn't used as much anymore, but still is being used. But the digital version still holds a light. And it is also the shortest day of the year, welcoming the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. So on this day, the sun stands still, resulting in some regions experiencing more or less only 9 hours of daylight. So whereas further up north, areas like Arctic Circle get no light at all. They are in complete dark. The roots of the word solstice are Latin, meaning the sun standing still. So the origins of National Flight Day or Flashlight Day are unknown, but the flashlights have served mankind a great deal, illuminating our paths in the darkest of nights. Flashlights are still widely used for investigations, and groups like Scouts. In addition to all-purpose flashlights, special variations have been adapted for activities like mining, camping. There are underwater and flame-resistant flashlights. So the flashlight was made possible by the invention of many incandescent light bulbs, and the Wright cell, which made battery-powered flashlights a reality in 1899. The invention of the flashlight is owed to the American-British inventor David Missel in the West. Modern flashlights used today utilize light-emitting diodes, that is LEDs, and mostly operate on a rechargeable or disposable batteries. And we have this mechanical also, where we can operate by rotating the wheel or pressing the wheels or buttons. So it is also good exercise at the same time through thermodynamics. We can generate electricity through magnetic induction principle, and the torchlight or the flashlight glows. And recharging batteries using solar power or this mechanical power or thermomagnetic induction is also a common feature in flashlights where electricity is a bit constrained. So in 1930s, flashlights soared in popularity in China with about 60 companies producing them. So China loves them. And in 1899, uh, David Missel invents the first flashlight in West. And the first ever dry cell battery was created in the West breakthrough invention in 1886. And Thomas Edison invents the light bulb, the West invention of the light bulb, 1879. What actually happens in winter solstice? So taking place twice a year, the solstice occurs one in each hemisphere. I said the entire year is divided into two. We have both the hemispheres, right? Southern and northern. The shortest day and the longest night is the winter solstice. We'll get back to that solstice later on. So you can also find the flashlight in the control center of your iPhone, which can be accessed from your home screen and also through app or app menu in your other Android or other models. So regardless of their color, all LED flashlights have a tendency to get hot if operated for an extended period. So you can see when your flashlight is on, the mobile gets heated soon. So charge your flashlight and while since you have taken out, change the batteries, give a lens, set through cleanup, and you are good to go on this flashlight day. And there will be absolutely no sunrise at all on this day in Barrow, Alaska. So they will be missing sun for the entire day. And the winter solstice have been celebrated by many ancient cultures from Rome to China, from Druids believed that day significant of rebirth of sun. It seems that the sun needs recharging just like flash. And also the winter solstice occurs at an exact time on the exact day every year. Regardless of where you live, it occurs at a fixed time for everyone on earth because it depends on the sun and earth constantly moves, keep moving. And because these are natural things, those are fixed based on which we prepare these calendars or almanacs. So they keeps constant and it occurs on the same time. So that's why this English calendar, you can see the festival comes on one day, second day, third day, fourth day. You know, it keeps changing. Almost certain festivals keep changing every year. That is the problem with the English calendar. That's what we were telling. So when we exactly follow the ancient calendars, you know, where like Hindu calendar, where or even before that the ancient calendars by Sanatana Dharma, you can exactly predict to the second, even more precisely, when the festival or when that occasion comes. So even the solstice or the eclipse, we have exactly within so precisely, we're able to predict long back, even before calendars, any kind of calendar was existed. We have given thousands and thousands of years future predictions of when certain eclipse is going to happen or when solstice is going to happen. And according to Zoroastrian folklore, the destructive spirits of evil are also strongest on this night. So things that go bump in the night. So don't be scared, and especially if you are lonely. And it's a perfect alignment. The Stonehenge monument rocks pillars align perfectly with the sun on both the winter and summer solstice. And digital inventions have replaced almost everything, and it's good to be able to take out a household staple like the flashlight and have some fun. And you never know when the need for flashlight may arise, even in cities also. Of course, if you have a backup system, that's fine with UPS or other, with automatic switchover. Otherwise, you still have to look out for a flashlight, at least in your mobile. So this day reminds us to make sure whole family knows where the torch is kept and to regularly check and replace its batteries, or at least how to, switch on your mobile and search for flashlight and such. And do not forget to charge your mobile, sir, if you are using mobile as a flashlight. And we don't know about you, but there is something chilling yet exciting about the winter solstice and the long night it brings. So it encourages spooky activities. So the solstice is haunting wonderful. So with this, we shall end the commemoration of this day. Today is also National Homeless Persons Remembrance Day. Since, because of this winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, and it is longest night of the year, and it's terribly cold outside. Then imagine the poor homeless persons staying out without any home on the streets or wherever they find some place to stay, sit, or sleep. So this day began in 1990, the National Coalition for the Homeless and the National Healthcare for the Homeless Council have sponsored this day to call attention to the plight of the country's homeless population. It's also a day to encourage the public to act on their behalf. So homelessness in US started many years ago during King Philip's War against the native people, which began in 1675. Many colonies were driven out of their homes, and families became refugees across their frontiers areas like New York and New England, and became a national issue in 1870s and sparked the creation of rescue missions such as America's first rescue mission, the New York City Rescue Mission, which Jerry and Maria Macaulay founded in 1872. As the government didn't provide enough assistance, more private charities and organizations tried their best to help. In New York City's Bowery neighborhood, many rescue missions started appearing. In 1879, the Bowery Mission was founded by Rev. and Mrs. A.G. Rulifson. The Western Soup Society began in Philadelphia to provide food for the homeless. In the years that followed, significant events like the Great Depression and the World War II greatly increased the number of homeless people in the US. Many passed homelessness to the next generations through poverty and crime. In the 1980s, government started acknowledging that it was becoming a national problem, and the Homeless Survival Act was enacted in 1986, providing emergency relief and long-term solutions to the homelessness. So the Homeless Eligibility Clarification Act ended the problems of associated with a permanent address and other social barriers, leading to introduction of food stamps, benefits, Medicaid, and other benefits. So with this we shall conclude the commemoration. Today is also World Snowboard Day. And to celebrate this exciting sport and its 60-year history, snowboarding became a popular American recreational sport in late 20th century after surprising the globe in 1960s. Although sales of snowboards and sporting equipment have decreased in recent years, this sport remains an important feature of Winter Olympics and Paralympics. And there are regional level bodies that govern and regulate the sport internationally and also exist to attract people from all places to this sport. So World Snowboard Day comes in a flagship premier event for snowboarding community. So US is famous for having a unique spectrum of sports. Many are played mainly in America, but have spread out in the world because of their popularity, like baseball, American football, and ice hockey are some of the examples. But these are not all. Snowboarding is also an important sport that is native to American people and has evolved other over years into modern Olympic sport, especially where they have this winter snowfall. So in the West, there is a story attached to this. Originating as a father's gift to his daughter, the idea came from gluing two skis together to make a wide enough seat for the girl to sit on. A father pulled the skis together to let daughter surf on the snow. So the toy became so popular among his daughter's friends that they demanded for the same toy and start and also others started coming in from people, and the man had to license the concept of the toy to a manufacturer for mass production. Can you guess who the father was? It was Sherman Poppen, an engineer from Michigan. So word spread, and soon a skateboarder, Tom Sims, pioneer of designing a snowboard, joined Poppen, and together they had held a snowboarding competition in Michigan, which attracted people from all over the country. And the sporting competition gained attention worldwide. The Welsh and Danish, especially, were among the pioneers of the sport and sponsored international level competitions. The first competition to give a cash prize in the National Surfing Championship in Muskegon, Michigan, with similar competitions emerging in other countries too. The first World Championship was held at Soda Springs, Canada in 1983. 2 years later, the first snowboarding World Cup was held in Zurich, Austria, which further cemented the sport's identity. To regulate the sports, the International Snowboarding Federation, in short known as ISF, was founded in 1990. When it became a part of the Winter Olympics in 1998, it was the biggest year in the sports history. So with this, we shall conclude this commemoration. Then today is also Yule, as you know, again, it's in UK, is a winter solstice again. So shortest day and longest night of the year. The sun gets its lowest elevation in the sky. And apart from marking of the new season, the winter solstice also holds a significant symbol for the sun. It appears to stand still on this day. It is believed that the sun is going through a rebirth and it would then gain momentum after the solstice. So this holiday depicts several pagan beliefs, especially that of the holy king handing over power to the old king, ushering in a new season of light, and so on. There are different stories associated. Our ancestors depended on the passage of times and seasons. And the best way to measure the season is by observing the sun and earth's orbit around it. The winter solstice is the time of the year when sun is reborn, announcing a new season. So on December 21st, the day is shorter as the sun seems to stand still on lower elevation, making the night longer. So, but this is a transition period that ushers in a new season of more sunlight. Yule celebrations used to be tied with different pagan traditions, bordering on mythology and culture. Popular notions into the myth of the goddesses giving birth to the sun god. There is also celebration of surrender of power from the holy king onto the old king. So, plus the ancient festival of the Germanic people about the wild hunt and good Odin is also around the same time. So all the above, the crust of Yule celebration. But as stated earlier, it is even more symbolic in that it helped our ancestors to determine times and seasons. So understanding times and seasons was usually difference between life and death, food availability and famine, victory and defeat, and many other things. So with introduction of Christianity, the Yule celebration has been linked with the Christmas traditions too. Its start was December 25th was chosen to celebrate the birth of Christ because it is the renewal period, and Yule and Christmas both share certain similarities and they often overlap as well. So with this we shall conclude the commemoration. And yes, finally, the winter solstice or December solstice is the longest night and the shortest day of the year, which usually occurs during December. And this year it is celebrated on 21st. And what is winter solstice? And that inspires such myths and magics. The earliest people on earth were fascinated by it. It's safe to say we are still smitten even today. The solstice marks the disappearance and return of the sun, and thus celebrations can be both literal and metaphorical. No matter where you live, the solstice happens for everyone at the same time. That's pretty magical and a reason to celebrate. December solstice or winter solstice has always inspired mythical celebrations. The earlier humans learned to observe the sun's path and length of the day, and they have noticed patterns of shifting sunrises and sunsets throughout the year. And to better understand the phenomenon, the earliest humans learned to observe sun's path and the length of the daylight. They noticed patterns of shifting sunrises and sunsets throughout the year. So, to better understand this phenomenon, many ancient cultures dedicated monuments to chanting or charting the sun's movement. Some historians believe that Machu Picchu in Peru and Stonehenge in England followed the sun progress throughout the year. So today we know and solstice is an astronomical event. The earth orbits around the sun at a tilt, not upright. But what this means is the northern and southern hemispheres take turns receiving the sunlight directly. Thus, the earth's tilt creates the onset of summer and winter and not our distance from the sun. The solstice takes place at the same time everywhere on earth. You would need to research the exact time of solstice as per CST or UST time and calculate the difference for your time zone. So December solstice has deep spiritual connections too. Whether daylight is increasingly retreats, it symbolizes a period of going within. For many cultures, this is a time of rest and introspection. At the same time, it's also a celebration of light, the anticipation of spring. Solstice festivities offer widely across countries. It's incredible how this astronomical phenomenon binds so many cultures. Each one has different. For many cultures, it is a time of rest and introspection. At the same time, it is also a celebration of light and anticipation of spring. Solstice festivities differ widely across countries. It's incredible how this astronomical phenomenon binds so many cultures. Each one has a different interpretation of this most special time of the year. No matter where you are in the world, the occurrences deserve celebration. And we'll see some statistics or interesting facts based on the West. So 3000 BC to 1520 BC. And the mysterious Stonehenge in England stands tall to track the sun's yearly progress in between 3000 BC to 1520 BC. So earliest signs of tracking the sun in the West. And people in Japan take hot baths within the yuzu citrus fruits and toss the fruits in a hot spring waters for capybaras to enjoy in 784 AD. So people in Iran celebrate the winter solstice by lighting fires all night, meeting family, feasting and reading poetry. So Shab-e-Yallah in Iran in 901 AD. And in between 1420 to 1530 AD, Machu Picchu's Itihuatana stone points directly at the sun during the winter solstice, reportedly teetering the sun in its annual path across today. And the hitching post of the sun, Machu Picchu's Itihuatana stone points directly at the sun during the winter solstice, reportedly teetering the sun in its annual path across the sky. So December solstice or winter solstice is the longest night and shortest day of the year, and it occurs when the Earth's axis tilts farthest away from the sun. And all places north of the equator receive less than 12 hours of daylight during the day. And most cultures view winter solstice as a symbolic death and rebirth of the sun. It marks a significant change in the season and official start of the winter. And winter solstice or December solstice is a time of reflection and rest, both metaphorically and literally. It's a period where we build up slowly towards sunnier days. And many Christian traditions borrow from pagan solstice rituals. So the chances are you are already celebrating this December solstice without realizing it. And decorating Christmas trees is remarkably similar to adorning traditional solstice Yule trees. In ancient times, people decorated solstice trees with lights and ornaments too. So make a Yule lantern as a symbol of light when emanates from the fellowship of the community. It means our light can shine bright until sunlight enters our lives again. And invite the kids for Yule inspired crafting. Make sun shaped crafts and ornaments at home. Invite the family over, hand over, or hang up with the DIY ornaments on the Christmas tree. Do it yourself. And December is the Latin month for the 10th month, which it was until. And December, as already mentioned, is Latin for the 10th month, which it was until Julius Caesar added 2 new months at the beginning of the Roman calendar year. A different Anglo-Saxon name called December, Eragula, or before you, a month with the year's unluckiest day. People considered 28th unlucky since it coincides with the uh, king Herod put firstborn babies to death in an attempt to kill. And most winter solstice celebrations aim to release darkness in favor of light, and it is a fitting way to end the year and make way for new beginnings. So we love how the winter solstice means something special to people and cultures everywhere. And it's a reminder how we are all children of the same universe. And December solstice is an ideal time to think back on the year past. Symbolically, uh, looking inward, the sun's absence seems. So a solstice is an event that occurs when the sun appears to reach its most northerly or southerly excursion relative to the central celestial equator on the celestial sphere. Two solstices occur annually around June 21st and December 21st. And apart from that, there are a lot of religious significance and other spiritual significance in all religions. So the Uttarayana, even in the as per the Hindu traditions also, the Uttarayana and Dakshinayana, both is related to sun only, where the major difference one easily understand is Uttarayana refers to northward movement of the sun, and Dakshinayana comprises winter, autumn, and monsoon. So the difference between Uttarayana versus Dakshinayana gives the direction of the sun. So in Uttarayana, we find positivity, longer days, auspicious, very auspicious. And Dakshinayana, we can see, spiritually, um, or in other context, we can see longer nights. Na? So a lot of negativity, inauspicious nights. Days are short. So you can only work for shorter time. And this winter solstice is also known as Dakshinayana. And it comprises of winter, autumn, and monsoon. And Dakshinayana is associated with negativity, with longer nights and shorter days. Auspicious works are discouraged during Dakshinayana, which begins around 21st or 22nd, June. Uttarayana, it is summer solstice, is also known as Uttarayan, consists of winter, spring, and summer. So positivity is the symbol of Uttarayana and has longer days and shorter nights. And auspicious works are engaged during Uttarayana. And it starts on 22nd December and lasts for 6 months, approximately till June 21st. So this marks a lot of festivals. That's why we see, major festivals fall on these days only. Even New Year, these various New Years, as per the natural or universal phenomena, and all come in March and April. And within these next 6 months, we have all auspicious days and many festivals. So it is also the period between Makar Sankranti and Karka Sankranti. So as already mentioned, Uttarayan means the north movement. So this the 6 month period, which indicates a semantic of the northward movement of the sun on the celestial hemisphere. So in this period, days are bigger than nights. And Dakshinayana is 6 month period between summer solstice and winter solstice, when the sun travels towards the south on a celestial sphere. So Dakshinayana begins on Karkada Sankranti or July 16, as it marks the tradition of the sun into Karkada Rashi, that is Cancer. And Uttarayana is also marked as Makar Sankranti. And India celebrates with various names depending on various places. And it is also the period of harvest and basically the movement of sun from south to north. And as we know that Makar Sankranti or Pongal or whatever name it is called is celebrated every year on 14 January. It always comes in between 13th to 15th. So which is almost a fixed day in Hindu calendar, but English calendar, it keeps changing. Even all festivals keep changing almost every year. One day here or there. That's a problem with English calendar. So it is the day when sun begins this movement away from Tropic of Capricorn towards the northern hemisphere. It is also known as Uttarayan. So have you heard earlier about Uttarayan and Dakshinayana and the meaning of Uttarayan and Dakshinayana, its importance? If it is, hope you know something about. Okay. As we know that there are two ayanas or solstices are there in 1 year, or we can say that sun changes its position twice every year. So these changes are known as Uttarayan, that is summer solstice, and Dakshinayana, that is winter solstice. So it begins from the day of Makar Sankranti, which is celebrated as a symbol of positivity. In this period, sun travels from Capricorn to Cancer, that is from north, south to north. In Hindi, it is Uttarayan. That's why we call it as Uttar means north. So that's why it is called as Uttarayan. And it is 6 months long period. During Uttarayan, days are longer and nights are shorter. And several festivals and pilgrimages are involved in this period. So this period is known as period of devas or donations, charities, marriages, etc. And very auspicious days. And it is said that on Makar Sankranti, the sun rays are very healthy for the body and skin. Also, in several states of India, people used to fly kites to leverage this opportunity of sunbath knowingly or unknowingly. The northwest movement of the sun from winter to summer solstice consists of 3 seasons, that is winter, spring, and summers. On January 14th, Uttarayan period, Makar Sankranti starts and ends of Karka Sankranti, that is on 16th July. So in similar way, the Dakshinayana, meaning as the name suggests, Dakshinayana, is just opposite to Uttarayan. It is the period when the sun travels back from Cancer to Capricorn, that is from north to south. As the sun travels to the south direction, so this journey of sun is known as Dakshinayana. Dakshin means south. In this period, rainy season, autumn and winter season falls. So the period begins from 21st or 22nd June. According to religious beliefs, Dakshinayana is the night of Kal Devas. So nights are longer and days are shorter. and various kinds of auspicious works are prohibited during this period because it is said that it is period of desires and lust. So therefore, fast, yagas, worships, and other religious activities cure diseases and sorrow. So it's basically the movement of sun southwards or northwards. Basically, sun does not move. Again, it's like our modern education teaches that sun rises in the morning and sun sets in the night. But the fact is, in spite of all these years and decades, we have been teaching our children sun rises in the morning and sets in the night. But the fact is, sun never rises, sun never sets, right? So similarly, so in a similar way here also, basically the rotation of the movement or the movement of the earth, the meaning of the movement of sun means the apparent movement of the sun as seen from the earth, since it's the earth that orbits around the sun. It's not the sun that orbits around the earth, right? So it is the earth that orbits around the sun in elliptical path and not the other way around. So the earth's axis of rotation moves the north or south, north to south. So we have to understand. That's why, this modern education sometimes, it has a lot of misinformation, and in fact, it, in spite of giving clarity or wisdom, is often provides a lot of misconceptions, myths, and lot of confusion or misinformation for that matter. So, okay, do you know equinox? So when the axis of the earth is tilted, 2 times of the year exists. It is tilted near towards or north away from sun and results equal amount of daylight and darkness of all latitudes. So these events are known as equinoxes. So it is derived from 2 Latin words, that is equus, that is equal, and nox, that is night. So on these 2 equinoxes, sun is directly overhead of the moon. And it is also said that on the equinox and for several days before and after the equinox, the length of the day will range about 12 hours and 6.5 minutes at the equator to 12 hours and 8 minutes at 30 degrees latitude to 12 hours 16 minutes at 60 degrees. So that is why there is this difference. And even you can see, observe, especially if you have a sunlight or windows that is facing east or northeast facing house, you can see, if you have ever observed in your home, if sun rays are passing, through your doors or windows and coming into your home, you can see the difference also. You just observe, even if you haven't observed, you just observe from now, December to June and June to December, the direction of the rays also in your house, you can change, you can observe a slight difference of how the rays are passing. You can see southward, northward, the sun are not exactly, the rays doesn't fall in the same direction or same location exactly throughout the year. So you can observe it if you can watch these happening. And according to Hindu scriptures, as already mentioned, Uttarayan is a period when sun travels from south to north, which is also known as Makar Sankranti. Out of 6 seasons, three falls in the solstice, that is winter, spring, and summer. And according to Puranas, Bhishma Pitamaha waited for Uttarayan in order to sacrifice his life. He was on the deathbed, on the arrows, in the battlefield. It is also believed that the Ganga from the heaven reached the earth on this auspicious day. So the Magh is also uh, considered important during Uttarayanas. All yagas, austerities, marriages, etc. are carried out. And also it is also said that Uttarayan is a period of day time for the god and Dakshinan is night for them. Basically, there is nothing like sleep for the gods. It is just the yoga nidra, we say. As a meditative sleep. They never sleep, in fact, but it's a kind of meditative sleep state. So Dakshinayana comprises winter, autumn, and monsoon, as already mentioned. And during Dakshinayana, sky is filled with clouds in terms of sadhana. Dakshinayana is for purification, and Uttarayana is for enlightenment. That's why most of the, these important or significant events of the life are also prohibited. We do not find good muhurtas and all those things because of this only, because this is a day, this period is entirely to relook, retrospect, and relook on ourselves and improving ourselves and working on ourselves, or those who are into spiritual or religious activities to focus on godly or ritualistic or rituals rather than manly or materialistic things. So hope it is now clear that Uttarayan is movement of sun from south to north and just opposite in Dakshina. Both has its own importance. Again, a caution of word. Sun never rises, sun never sets, so sun never moves either of the direction, but it is only for making things simpler. Okay, it's the earth, because of earth's rotation, the inclination of angle that makes this concept happens. So only for the fair understanding, because as always said, we are always self-centric and we do not even tell that earth is moving because of earth. We are so self-centered that we want to keep ourselves, in a prominent position, or so we always say sun, sun is moving, sun is setting, rising, all kinds of things. That itself says, the kind of education we are imparted, or the kind of attitude or the perspective we have. We are always self-centered. Even for that matter, we only, first try to credit ourselves or talk good about ourselves. So these kind of things that are there. Anyway, we'll not go into much detail because we already exceeded time, but in simple, we need to know these differences. These are very much scientific, and even we try to cover the significance. And thank you everyone for joining us, and see you all tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock, with the same link, with different commemorations. So take care, good night. Before leaving, kindly fill up the feedback form. It has been raised in the form of polls. And do not forget to register every day while you are joining, because every day you are going to get certificate. And because of not registering, these certificates are getting delayed. So make sure you register for every day. And registration forms are available on the site. in the message we have shared in all the platforms. We are also sharing the link here in the chat box for your reference. You can even now register every day. The link is same. So you can just bookmark the link form, and you can, before attending, you can fill it up and attend every day so that you become eligible for the certificate, and you can attend, provide feedback, and that's all is required to be eligible for the certificate. And don't worry about the certificates. They will be available on the website as and when they are generated. So you can download. They are there. They will be there for good amount of time. No need to worry. No need to hurry also. Unless and until you have immediate need or anything, try to follow all the formalities. If you require certificate, kindly follow all the formalities. If you are just joining for the sake of knowledge and certificate is optional for you, then these all are things are fine. Okay, even if you don't register, also fine. Even if you don't provide feedback, is also fine. As you know, if you don't require any certificate, if you require certificate, then do register daily, provide feedback. In the feedback, there is an option whether you require certificate or not. Opt for require certificate. That will help our team also to generate a certificate and keep them on the website. If you are very particular about certificates, kindly follow the formalities. It is mandatory. Without completing formalities, we shall not be issuing certificates. Otherwise, there are many people, many of our friends who join just for the sake of knowledge. So, and they do not ask, they do not take certificates also in spite of generation. So for them, there is no, formalities. They can join daily with the same link. Link is same for all the events. They can directly join, happily listen, happily share your information, and happily, you can go with lot of takeaways. So thank you, everyone. Quickly fill up the feedback form and see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.